Welcome to the Dr. Diane Show, where we explore revolutionary expansion of mind, body, and soul with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. With over 20 years of expertise as a mindset warrior, perspective shifter, and unshakable optimist, I am dedicated to helping you reach your wildest dreams in business, health, performance, and relationships. Learn about the power of thought and how it shapes your life to take risks, change careers, find love, go on adventures, and live passionately with me, Dr. Diane. Get ready for revolutionary ways of thinking, being, and creating an amazing life. The Dr. Diane Show starts now. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Diane Hayden, and you are listening to the Dr. Diane Show on Transformation Talk Radio. Stay with us for the next hour where we will explore revolutionary expansion of mind, body, and soul. Each time on the Dr. Diane Show, we have experts from around the country discussing cutting-edge topics on longevity, medicine, natural health, mindset, and soul purpose to help you shift your perspective and become a mindset warrior like me. I'm excited to have today as my guest, Jacqueline Kane. She is a master energy healer and low back pain specialist in Collinsville, Connecticut, and also virtual. She transforms the blocks causing your physical, emotional, and financial blocks so that you can live the life you were born for. Jacqueline facilitates deep healing of trauma, low back pain, and chronic conditions tied to limiting mindsets impacting health and wealth. She recently co-wrote and published the book, The Energy Medicine Solution: Mind-Blowing Results for Living an Extraordinary Life, which was the inspiration for her upcoming live and virtual retreat this October called The Energy Medicine Solution. Her inspiration for the book came about because she was frustrated seeing people getting sicker instead of healthier. The book is filled with stories of people experiencing pain relief using powerful tools and techniques that your doctor isn't telling you about. This book will put the power of healing ability back in your hands. So welcome, Jacqueline. How are you today?
Great. And thank you for having me today.
Awesome. So I usually like to start these by getting, a little bit more of a feel for you and your journey and kind of how you came down this path to becoming a master energy healer. So let's start there. Let's tell my listeners a little bit about your background and kind of your journey on this whole process.
Yeah, so I started out, I was an X-ray tech, so I worked in the hospitals and I saw everything of how in our medical system we take care of the physical body. And I went on a cruise ship and had my first massage. And I thought, oh my God, what just happened? Because I'm a person who, even when I go on vacation, I have a list. I have to keep busy and I want to make sure I don't miss out on anything and I want to experience everything.
So you don't
So
relax on vacation.
I guess,
Yeah.
back then I didn't think so. I thought I was
Right.
just living my life. But now, as I tell these stories, I'm like, wow, I was really busy and did not relax. But after, so I was on a singles cruise ship with my girlfriends and I had a massage and it just shut my mind down. So it really got me thinking, what just happened? What was this massage thing? So I was doing mammograms at the time, and the secretary said, I'm going to go to massage therapy school. And I said, no, you're not. That's my dream. So it was kind of like the nudge to get me to get moving on this soul journey that I came here to do. So I went to massage therapy school. I went nights. I had young kids. It was a long 18 months, but loved it, loved every minute of it. And then I just started learning more and more. I wanted to learn more because every massage therapist was just helping people for a short amount of time. And if you've had a massage, you know that you feel great for like 24 hours, but then you go back to feeling the same way. And I didn't want that. I wanted to get to the root cause of physical pain and get people to the place where they don't have pain. So one thing led to another. I learned Bowen therapy, which is a neuromuscular repatterning of the body. I learned lipomassage, all these things that had to do with the physical body. And then when I was going on my own journey and I hit a wall and realized that I ended up in a place in my life that I didn't want to be, that's when EFT, emotional freedom technique, and all these other energetic tools were coming into my field. And I started using them with my clients, and the results were just mind blowing. They were able to really get to the root cause. They were able to get out of pain. And some of my clients have been in pain for 50 years. And
Wow.
for them to say the pain is gone, it just fueled me to learn more and more and just want to what is this? What are we missing? Right? If some people are getting out of pain, then why aren't more people? Why aren't we talking about this? Why doesn't everybody know about it? And it really was just kind of frustrating for me that more people weren't knowing these tools and techniques.
That's the
So
ultimate question, isn't it? Like, it's like, why don't more people know about this? I remember when I started my magazine, I was thinking like, oh, everybody knows about acupuncture and, all these holistic things that are in my magazine. And very quickly I learned that, yeah, no, like I'm in this bubble world or whatever that I was exposed to all of them just on the path that I was on. But most people had not heard of things, or if they've heard of it, but they had this misconception about what different modalities really were, especially
yeah,
things like acupuncture, energy healing. People still have a lot of questions.
yeah, and energy healing can be so broad, right? There's so many people. There's Reiki, there's Qigong, there's like so many different modalities that are under that umbrella. But once you start working with energy, things change really fast.
Mhm.
People are able to get out of pain and get back to living their life. Money shows up. Like there's a whole unlimited possibility that most people aren't even stepping into and have no idea what's on the other side for them. It's very liberating. It's very exciting.
Yeah. Well, I love this story about even back up to just starting out as a massage therapist, but your mindset about it, because I feel like it's almost like a lot of these modalities, there's even within our holistic arena, there's two kind of separate roads, or I should say two separate types of
Yeah.
practitioner. I was just having this conversation with my massage therapist as well, and she was saying, I'm not I'm not fulfilled anymore from just giving somebody a massage as just stress reduction. They go on their merry way, in a week or 2 weeks they come back and we do the same thing all over
Same
again.
thing.
They're not
Same thing.
learning, like, not that you stop getting massages, but they're not, they're coming with the same problem over and over and over again, and they're not really trying to figure out what is the root cause of this.
Right. And they're content. They think, well, and I believe it's a mindset. In our
Mm.
country, it's a mindset. We are drilled over and over again by TV, by media, by what your doctor says that, well, you're getting old, you're going to be in pain, or you're getting old, you're going to be tired. No, like who who decides that? And if you're getting pain, well, let's go to pain management. What who came up with the word pain management? I mean, this is crazy how we live our lives and the things we tell ourselves. So when you're starting to realize that you're really frustrated and you want more, you've got to keep searching because there's more out there. We don't have to become decrepit when we age. We don't have to stop doing all the things we love doing. When you keep your mind and your body thriving and you deal with the emotions and the energies and you have ways of clearing the energy, then you can have your life with fun and adventure for as long as you desire. You get to choose that.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, I think, is helping more people realize that we have the ability to heal ourselves. Like, we have all
Yes.
of that innate ability, and it's just working with the right practitioner to help facilitate that, or to help us learn more about how to do it ourselves. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's us doing it.
It is us. Nobody else can do the healing for us. We have to be open to it, and we can take on any modality. But recently I worked with a gentleman, and he was so much in his head trying to understand his patterns and why he was getting fired from jobs and why the same pattern. I'm like, I took you through two very deep processes. You don't have to think about it. The brain is not going to fix the problem. You have to get down in your heart and in your body, and you have to feel. What do you feel? And people don't always like the word feel, or let's talk about your feelings. Again, when did we learn that it's not good to talk about your feelings? When that's our driver. That's what we're either attracting things to us or pushing them away. It's your feelings. But we've learned to suppress them, not think about them, not talk about it. And I think that's one of the biggest concerns with our young children today and our teenagers is they've been taught to shut it down. And that's not fair to them, and it's not fair to us, and it's hurting many people.
Yeah, and unfortunately, all the technology, as great as it is, kind of adds to that whole thing. I mean, our cell phones, social media, we all have our head in our phone or in our computer or whatever, or in some virtual world, just amplifies the whole thing of not feeling something, just distracting yourself.
Yeah, and we're taught at a very early age, just get over it, don't stress about it, don't make a big deal about it. And it's wrong. We're teaching our kids that their feelings don't matter. And the more I recently became a grandmother, so it's super important for me to make sure that we do everything right with this grandchild, right? As a mom, I want to do everything I can to help my kids live a better life. And even now that I'm a grandmother, so start
Yeah.
asking your kids how they're feeling.
Yeah, exactly. Start asking yourself how you're feeling, like start with you first, I think, and then,
Yeah.
Your family and everything. And I'm just going to give a quick plug for your amazing retreat that's coming up in October. We're going to talk more in detail about that as our show goes on. But you can see in the if you're physically watching this, you can see the link to the Energy Medicine Solution Retreat. It's bit.ly/energy retreat 2023. And it's going to be just an amazing once in a lifetime opportunity to work with 9 master energy healers at an event that will really facilitate about 6 months of healing in just a few days. So I'm really excited about that. I know that's going to be amazing. Like I said, we're going to talk more as our show goes on. But I just love your story. We've already gotten a lot of great nuggets and things for people to start thinking about and tuning into their feelings. And we're going to talk more about all of that in a few minutes. You're listening to the Dr. Diane Show with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll explore more about Jacqueline Kane and the Energy Medicine Solution. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're back on the Dr. Diane Show with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. But before we continue, I want to make sure everyone knows how to contact me. You can find me at www.drdianehayden.com or either of my 2 publications, www.naturalnutmeg.com and www.essentialnaples.com. And you can learn more about Jacqueline Kane at her website, which is www.jacquelinemkane.com. That's spelled JACQUELINEMKANE.com. So welcome back, Jacqueline.
Thank
We were
you.
just talking about the exciting retreat that you have coming up. But before we get to that, you wrote an amazing article that's in our Natural Nutmeg magazine, that's out right now, our July, August, September, summer issue. And the title of that was Your Ancestral Wounds May Be Causing Your Physical Pain. And I'd heard about ancestral wounds or ancestral healing before, but had never really explored it in a lot of detail. But it's always been fascinating to me. And I'm going to explain it as best I can, and then you're going to give us a lot more detail. But my understanding is basically, your parents, your grandparents, as far back as who knows, in your ancestry, like your genealogy, let's say, family tree history, basically pass down things that have happened to them, traumas that have happened to them, physical things that have happened to them. And it actually gets stored in our DNA. And then it can present in our life something that's maybe a physical disease or an emotional block or something like that. So, did I get it right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. And so it's the emotional, unresolved emotional issues that the generations that came before you didn't resolve. So things such as low back pain. If everybody in your family has low back pain, it becomes the thing of the family, right? Or heart disease.
Mhm.
We repeat it. We constantly say it. So as we repeat things, we're manifesting it and really putting that belief concrete in our family energetic system,
So I want to
right?
say something. Yeah, but what you just said, I want to repeat because I want to make sure people got that. It's when you actually verbalize something. So you say, like you just said, oh, I have a history of low back pain, or my father died of heart disease, my grandfather died of heart disease, whatever. As you're verbalizing that stuff, what you're saying is basically your body is listening to you.
Your body's listening to it. Your children are listening to it. Everything, it becomes factual, right? And you know those people who are like, it's just the way it is. You can't do anything about it. The doctors say it's genetic, and that's all it is. And that's what I believed until I experienced an ancestral energy clearing. So I talk about this in one of the books I wrote a chapter in. Years ago, my sister-in-law lost her father and her sister before Christmas. And I knew she was really close to them. She was going to have a hard time for the holidays. And I said, let's just go away. My in-laws were from Ireland. Let's get everybody, we'll go to Ireland for Christmas just to get out, because I knew it was going to be really hard for her. So my in-laws, for some reason, were adamant. They said, nope, we're not going. We're not going to Ireland anymore. And I was like, we were kind of
Who
shocked,
doesn't want to
taken
go to
back.
Ireland?
We're like, all
What?
right, it's off the table. We're not going. Got it. So 2 months later, I'm in Texas. So I live in Connecticut, and I flew to Texas to be at a conference with one of my coaches. And he takes about 100 of us through this ancestral energy process. And during the process itself, I didn't feel a lot. So sometimes when you're doing energy work, some of us just don't feel things, and other are very in tune to it.
Mhm.
So after the process, I get up and a bunch of us ladies are going to the bathroom, and my phone starts buzzing. And it's my son saying, I just found a house for all 13 of us when we go to Ireland. It's awesome. And I said, honey, that's really sweet, but we're not going. Didn't you get the memo that like it's
Right.
off the table? The next text, like a second later, was my husband saying, my parents changed their mind. We're looking for airfare and we're booking our flight for Ireland this July. I went back to my coach. I said, what did you just do? Because
Right.
10 minutes ago, we weren't going. 10 minutes ago, nobody wanted to go and it was off the plate. And now we're booking this family trip for 13 of us, which went down in history as one of the most amazing trips that we all had. My mother-in-law still talks about it. So I really took on that experience and I started using it with some of my clients who, no matter what I did with them, their pain still persisted. So I started doing clearings with them. Well, lo and behold, their pain started going away. I would take people even in groups and processes, even a recording somebody listened to, and her low back pain went away. So I
Wow.
constantly did more and more oh my God, and researched what is this? Not only were people able to get rid of their pain, their physical pain, but money would show up. Like they would get unexpected IRS returns, or their mother out of the blue would say, hey, here's $3,000, go buy a car. Just out of the blue, things were happening. But not only that, but relationships started getting better. So when I work with parents and they say they didn't have a good relationship with their daughter or their son, soon after a clearing, they're telling me they had the best time on the weekend with their children, or their marriage is getting better. So there's more to this, and again, people aren't talking about it, and we don't understand the energy you're carrying that you inherited,
So
right?
let's break this down for people who this is all brand new to, right? So
Yeah.
basically what you're saying is you went to this event and someone was doing this ancestral clearing on you for you, right? So it's basic, like I think people understand, like if you go get Reiki or, if you go to an energy healer or whatever, and I know, you don't have to be in the room, it can be virtual. I think
Yeah.
a lot of people are kind of wrapping their head around that, but they're understanding that it's happening to you because you're the one who's receiving the healing. But basically what's happening is by clearing this energy for you, it's actually affecting your whole family. Like something happened in your parents' energy field, right? To
Yes.
make them decide, oh, you know what, we should go on that trip. And they probably have no idea like why all of a sudden they decided it was a good idea.
They don't
But
know what I'm doing states
yes.
away, thousands of miles away, right? And so the more I do it with my family, it is. So, somebody said recently, you don't see gravity, right? But there's gravity holding us to the planet,
Right.
right? We're not all
Yep.
flying around. You see a
That's
storm coming through, you see the effects of it, but you can't actually see the wind, right?
right. Yeah.
It's
That's the
this.
biggest thing. I think people have a hard time with things they can't physically see. Like have a
Absolutely.
hard time understanding it, believing it. But you know what? How about the first people who got TV? This is a hilarious, quick little story. My mother tells it all the time. It's so funny. She said, I remember when we first got a television, her grandmother said to my mother's father, Johnny, how did those people get in that box? Like,
Or a
right?
fax, right?
Yeah, we don't
how did I
question
get a
that.
fax here, right?
We don't question that. We don't question how the cell phone works. We don't question any of
Nothing.
that. But we question how like energy, clearing and
So
healing and
so I
all that
want to
helps.
break it down for you, right? Because what I do, the more I talk about it, the more I do podcasts, like there's red flags, right? So let's look at the red flag to help everybody listening with how ancestral energy could be impacting you, because every human being is impacted by ancestral energy on some level. So you could say, how's your physical health? Do you always get sick? Do you have low back pain you've tried everything for and nothing's working? Red flag, ancestral energy. Your wealth, your income, your financial freedom. Do you have a business where you do everything they tell you to do and you're not making progress? Or you just hit these walls? Red flag. You keep attracting the wrong relationship time after time. You're attracting people who take advantage of you, where you have to people please and you put their needs before you. Ancestral energy, red flag. Your inability to stand in your power. You put everybody else before you. Who taught you that? You learned that from somebody. These are all red flags.
Yeah, it's patterns, right? It's looking for the patterns in your life that keep occurring over and over in a particular area, let's say, or
And they
more
may
than
not
one.
make sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Patterns, habits that you don't understand why you do them, but you keep repeating the pattern.
Yeah. It's interesting. I think I was just at the Joe Dispenza retreat, and he talks so much about, just how energy works and understanding it and all of that. And one of the things he showed us as far as research, because what I love about him is he's
A
very
lot of
huge
research.
on research. And
Yeah.
yeah, what's great because now people can actually see physical changes that are happening in the body. But he was talking about a twin study where one twin was meditating in a room and another twin was just in another room watching some boring TV show that they forced them to endure. And the fascinating thing was that whatever was happening with the twin that was meditating, the same physical things were happening with the twin that was in the other room watching a TV show. And
Crazy.
actually, they weren't even in the same building. Like some of the twins were in some cases, I think they were many miles apart. Like one had gone to a retreat somewhere and one was still back home. But maybe that's a little bit easier for people to understand when you think about it from that perspective. Like twins supposedly, are supposed to have the same everything, right? So, well, I mean, identical to a certain extent. But so it's now, can people understand like, oh, this is happening. This thing is actually energy, whatever you want to call it, is happening to this one twin, and the same thing is happening to her sister, brother, whatever, even though they're not even experiencing it.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. We're going to get into a lot more of this exciting stuff. I love it. I could talk about it forever. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to the Dr. Diane Show with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. When we come back, we'll be talking more about energy medicine with Jacqueline Kane. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're back on the Dr. Diane Show with me, Dr. Diane Hayden, and I am talking today with Jacqueline Kane. You can learn more about her at www.jacquelinemkane.com. That's JACQUELINEMKANE.com. And we've been, talking about ancestral wounds and healings and how things can be passed down, personal family trauma, even physical illness from generations to generation, and what happens when you actually clear those things, and how it doesn't just happen to you, it actually happens to your whole, or can happen to your whole family. So, and Jacqueline was giving us information on signs and symptoms of what an ancestral wound might be, looking for those patterns, and just realizing that, when you start to see something popping up in your life over and over again, to take a look at that from a different perspective. I would say something like this, instead of just being like, oh, well, that's my family history. So I love what you do with this. It's really amazing, and more people need to know about it for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, and we have a choice. You can keep all those habits and patterns if you're happy with them, if you're happy and content where your life is. But if you want something more, if you want more health, more money, more friendships, more connection, there's definitely something that you can do to change that and take control of it yourself.
I definitely think that more and more people are um, waking up to that. And I think there's a lot of people now that are just kind of feeling this disconnectedness, or they kind of feel lost, like whether it's they haven't found, you know, a really good, healthy relationship, or after the last couple of years, a lot of people's careers were turned upside down. And so they might be looking for something that they have more purpose. But I really feel like more and more people are coming to that place of, okay, what else is there? Or I'm not going to just put a band-aid on this issue that I'm having. I want to really get to the root cause of it.
Yeah, and I think people are really kind of frustrated with their health care and what their doctors have been doing with it. And that was the inspiration for the book. I mean, this is 2023. I always thought we would be healthier the older we get. And it's like every day there's a new illness, there's a new rare disease. Like, what are you talking about? There's
Mhm.
what?
There's a new
Um,
prescription medicine.
yeah.
Ask your doctor if it's right for you.
So instead of the doctor recommending it, we're going in there now and saying, hey, what about this pill? What about
Yeah,
that? It's
crazy. It is crazy. So
it's
tell us
just
about the retreat. Um, if you want to talk a little bit about the book, or you just want to jump right into the retreat so people can learn more about what they're going to experience there, and kind of what the whole impetus was for you to create this.
yeah. So it all started with the book. I really didn't want to write the book. I knew it was going to be a lot of work, but I kept getting these nudges like you got to talk about it. People need to know. Um, so there's 25 of us healers in the book. Every single one of us share a story where our health wasn't doing well, and we had to really dig deep inside of us to understand what it was. And each one of the healers have created their own healing tool that you can actually experience in the book. So it's more of an experiential book. You can read it, get healing tools, and heal yourself just from your couch. But I didn't want to have just a book that was left on the shelf. I wanted to bring it to life. So by the time we dwindled down, which one of the 25 really wanted to go the full mile with me?
Right.
Like I always push people. I'm just one of these people. I push people out of their comfort zone. Hey, you want to go do this? So we have 9 of us who are creating a kind of a 2.5 day, 3 day retreat in October, where when you come and attend, you're not going to be just taking information. We are going to, each one of us will be taking you through experiences, ancestral energy, rebirthing, sound healing, white time healing, all kinds of Reiki and all kinds of things to help you feel better now, to shift your energy so that truly this retreat is about 6 months worth of healing packed into a few days.
Wow.
You're going to leave because once you tap into your energy again, things can happen really fast. So you're going to feel better. Are you going to be completely cured? Probably not, but you're going to make really big strides so that when you leave, you're going to be feeling better. I promise you, money will be showing up and there will be a lot more ease around your financial goals. You're going to start attracting the right people that make you feel good and that you feel connected to and that you feel aligned to. And you're going to be really comfortable being seen and heard your way. Because when we, as a human being, get to speak up and be seen, heard your way, we get to heal the planet. There's so much more love and your heart opens up. That you don't have to suppress who you are. You just get to be you. And when you are you, you attract things for you, what you want in your life, and in the most easy, effortless way. So I'm really excited about the retreat.
Yeah, so the link is below, bit.ly/energy retreat 2023. You can learn more about that and register there as well. I think what's really amazing about it is it's a great way for people to experience all these different forms of energy healing, right? Like where can you go where there's going to be 9 master energy healers and you can, you're basically going to get this accelerated healing, essentially, like you said, 6 months of
Yeah.
healing in just a few days for sure. When you break down, how it would be if you were to work with each of these people individually over a long period of time, this is an amazing opportunity.
Yeah. We're going to leave you so that you have the right energy. There's going to be somebody who does feng shui and spiritual counseling. There's going to be somebody who has herbal teas that you could take home with you. There's somebody who's going to share how crystals can help you heal your gut health. There's somebody who's going to teach you nutrition, and she's a board certified nutritionist. These are all experts in their field, and it's not that often that you can have all of them at your disposal. And so if you join us in person in Bristol, Connecticut, then you can keep asking us questions all day long.
Right. And
So
it's virtual too, right? There's a virtual
yes, it is
option for
virtual
people. Yeah,
because we want to
sure.
reach as many people as we can. And
Right.
because it is energy, I work with people online all the time and they have amazing effects. So
Right. Exactly. Exactly. It can, you don't have to be in the same room, for sure. I think for people, it's a way to try different things. Like, I know a lot of people pick up our magazine and they read about all different types of modalities. And sometimes it could be a little overwhelming, like, oh my gosh, what should I do? Should
who
I
do I
try?
pick? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Like, who do I pick? Who do I, how do I kind of weed through this? Or even if you're just Googling and searching, for a particular type of healing or type of modality, how do you figure out who's the right person? And
Yeah.
so this will be a great way for people to kind of like try all these different types of healing and see what really resonates with them.
And we even have a Facebook community group. It's the Energy Medicine Solution Community. You can join for free, and in there, each practitioner, each healer offers different workshops and different ways to get to know them, so that you can definitely decide for yourself, oh, maybe I just want to work with that one. Maybe I want to get to know her. So you got to do something. And this is a great way to get to try out a few different modalities and then decide which one is for you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, for sure. So again, that link is below. And if you're listening and not watching, it is bit.ly/energy retreat 2023. And all the information about all the healers is on that link as well. And people can, learn more about them individually and about all these different modalities for sure. It's going to be an amazing, amazing couple of days. I wonder if people might be thinking like, who is this right for? Is there a specific, I don't know, type of person or issue or whatever? Or do you really feel like this could help anybody and everybody?
It truly can help anybody that's open to trying something new, but especially for mostly women between the ages of 45 to 65, 45 and up. And any gentleman who has tried so many things and nothing's worked. This is definitely going to help you make huge shifts and get to the other side and really have the tools when you leave to be able to create the life you desire. And that's the other thing. It's not just you come to us and we heal you. It's we're all teaching you tools so that basically you don't need us. That's why this is not a moneymaker, right? Once you learn these tools, then you get to use them at home and create your life.
That's the most important thing that I really want people to start to understand. And what my mission is becoming more about is to help people realize, like we've said it a couple times already, but I think it's so important to keep reiterating it, that
Yeah.
you have the ability to heal yourself. Everything is within you. You might need a practitioner to kind of open that world up for you, or like you're saying, give you the tools. But once you learn these things, then it's up, the power is within you. And I think that's amazing. I mean, we have to get out of this mentality of relying on, everybody else to take care of us and our health, right? Like only going to see a practitioner if they take insurance, letting the insurance company dictate like who
Decide.
you get your health care from,
Yeah.
right? Or
Yeah.
relying on doctors to quote, take care of us or write us a prescription or figure it out. Like if people haven't figured that out after the last 3 years, I don't know when that's going to be an awakening, but I mean, we have to get to this place where we all start to take more responsibility. And then I think we're going to see huge changes as far as just the overall health on a global
Yes.
perspective, for sure. So this has
Yeah.
been amazing. We're going to take another short break. Before we do that, my contact info for you one more time is www.drdianehayden.com. This is the Dr. Diane Show with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're back on the Dr. Diane Show with me, Dr. Diane Hayden, and I'm talking today with Jacqueline Kane. You can learn more about her at www.jacquelinemkane.com. That's JacquelineMkane.com. And if you're interested in the Energy Medicine Solution Retreat that's coming up in October, it is live here in Bristol, Connecticut, and it's also virtual. But the link for that is bit.ly/energy retreat 2023. And just to kind of reiterate again what we were talking about before we went to break, just hoping people are coming to the realization that they do have the power to heal themselves, and the ability is all within us. We just need to learn the tools to be able to do that. And Jacqueline, was anything else that you wanted to say about that?
And so I think that's really a hard one, right? Because we've been taught to, if you have a little ache or pain, like go to the doctor. What did the doctor say? Even we've gone through 3 years of COVID, And nobody's talking about building up your immune system, right? There's clearly ways to build your immune system.
Yep.
But before I fully embraced and that we can heal ourselves, I also experienced low back pain, and I'd be like, oh, I have to go see the chiropractor, I have to do this or get a massage. But one of the really great tools I started using was Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life. And in the back of the book, it goes through every ailment. And one of the things is low back pain, and how your back pain shows you or has to do with how supported in life you feel. Oh, well, that really opened me up, because I came from a family of dysfunction and chaos, and there wasn't really a lot of support. So that kind of hit home. So I had to heal the part of me that felt unsupported, and really look at the places where I am supported and create a better relationship so that I can 100% support myself and not feel that I'm unsupported. And that started changing my low back pain. So when that started changing, I was like, "Whew, we have something here. This really works," right? So we're constantly looking at all these tools. So there's the ancestral energy that helped. And then further along, okay, what's the low back pain? What's the emotion I'm feeling underneath that? I have a wonderful client who is 80 years old. She was in low back pain for 50 years. And she was only coming to me for massage or Bowen therapy at that time. And then her pain was getting worse. And she said, Jack, I think I need to go see the doctor for an injection or surgery. I don't know what. And I said, hey, let's just do some deeper work. Let's do some EFT, some ancestral energy clearing. And if it doesn't work, he's always there, right? They are always there ready with their scalpels to do surgery. So I started working with her in a deeper way, and she's like, oh my God, my pain went away. And not only that, but she was coming out of her shell. She was healing the anger and resentment that she didn't realize she was still holding on to. So at 80 years old, she was feeling younger. She had more energy. People were noticing it. And she was getting out of pain. So it's happening over and over again, that we have to look at the emotions underneath the pain to fully heal the physical problem.
It's so interesting to me that that's related to a part of the body, right? Like, that people have low back pain because they're not supported. Well, the back is, your spine, everything. It's what supports your whole body. It's what keeps you standing up, the bones and the musculature. So that
Right.
makes perfect sense, right? So,
Yeah.
if you look at other types of things, like whatever it might be, for example, is heart disease related to some type of trauma around love or
Grief
not getting.
and hurt and
Yep.
sadness.
Yep.
Absolutely. Knee pain is all about flexibility. How flexible are you in doing something different, in letting go of a habit or a belief that you really are so stuck on, right? So there's all these other things to start looking at to just help you feel better without having to book an appointment or wait 3 months to go see a certain specialist. You can start doing this at home.
Yeah, and also what it does, I think, is it gets us more in tune with our body, right? Which is what we're all, a lot of what we're talking about is getting people to feel again, right? So, and I think
Yeah.
the thing about that is people don't want to feel pain. That's what it is. Like they just, are closed off because they don't want to feel pain. But I think we have to realize that you have to feel it and move through it so you can get past it, because otherwise it gets stuck in the body, like what we're talking about, and then now
Look at,
it's
yeah,
physical pain.
look at all the women who have fibromyalgia. If you look at their profile of who they are, they've done so many things for other people their whole lives. Don't you think at some point they're upset about that
Yeah.
nobody's asking them what they need, right? So usually at some point we've learned to be that kind of person. So if we're looking at fibromyalgia, that's usually a passed down habit and pattern of putting other people first. So you're constantly putting other people's needs before your own, and you keep pushing the barrier. You keep pushing through when you really want to say, no, I can't do that today. But you override that and you say yes, and your body's telling you, hello, no, you shouldn't be doing that. I told you to stop it. You're not listening to me.
Well, what's also interesting is that there's what's the word I want to use? I don't know if it's correlation or like this is exactly one of the things I just learned about at this retreat was that women who have ovarian cancer all have a similar personality. So there's like this, you can actually, pick people out based on how their personality is. I'm not going to say that, oh yeah, you're going to get ovarian cancer, you must have it. But I don't remember what the percentage was that the researcher was talking about. It was something ridiculous, like 95% of women who had this type of cancer all had these similar personality traits. Okay, so yeah, I think it's just amazing that we have this ability to heal ourselves. It has been wonderful talking to Jacqueline Kane today. I'm excited to have her on the show. I want to thank all of you for tuning into the Dr. Diane Show. You can join me the first and third Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. Next time on the Dr. Diane Show, we'll be discussing more about the power of thoughts and beliefs and the impact they have on your life. Have a great week, and I'll see you back here next time. Thank you for tuning into the Dr. Diane Show, revolutionary expansion of mind, body, and soul with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. Tune in every Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Center your thoughts on what you want and shut the door on every suggestion of fear, worry, or lack from your own consciousness or the consciousness around you. Once you master that, everything is possible. To learn more about me, Dr. Diane, and receive a free digital subscription of my magazine, visit naturalnutmeg.com.